how I survived a toxic family secret, and now he's coming back home with his fiance. I'm an only child. My biological parents were second cousins, and my mom was just 17 when she had me. They divorced when I was about 3. Later, my mom got together with a man 25 years older than her. He was a widower with 3 kids from a previous marriage, 2 of whom had already moved out. The youngest, Carl, still lived with us. By the time I turned 18, Carl and I had developed what I can only describe as a harmful relationship. We never got along. At first, it was the usual sibling tension, little fights, arguments, constant teasing, but over time, his behavior shifted. The bullying turned darker. His punishments crossed lines that made me feel unsafe. He'd constantly belittle me emotionally, saying I was useless, that I shouldn't have been born, that I could never measure up to him. Every achievement I had, he minimized. He reinforced the idea that I had no power to defend myself. There's one memory I can't forget. After he pushed things too far one night, I ran straight into the street and told my mom everything. I was crying, desperate for her to believe me, but she dismissed it with a single line: "He's just being an older brother." Nothing changed. That dismissal broke me more than his actions ever could, because it told Carl he had power, and he used it. He even threatened me, saying if I ever spoke up again, he'd make me regret it. Imagine being 18, feeling completely unheard in your own home. Eventually, Carl moved out to work away, which gave me temporary relief, but the damage was already done. I had no therapy, no guidance, no one safe to confide in, so I started coping in unhealthy ways. At 18, I'd escape into writing disturbing stories, acting out scenarios that were clearly me trying to process trauma. I didn't understand it at the time. I only knew I was broken and trying to make sense of it. By the time I was 23, things spiraled. I fell into bad crowds, late nights, and parties. I started drinking too much, numbing myself, seeking validation anywhere I could find it. It wasn't about fun. It was about trying to feel worth something. I chased attention from guys who didn't care, because even the wrong kind of attention felt better than feeling invisible. People around me started labeling me, and after a while, I believed it. I played the role everyone expected me to play, even though inside I was screaming. But the nightmare didn't end there. Around the same time, my stepdad also crossed boundaries that no parent should. He'd invade my privacy, walking in while I was changing, making inappropriate comments, even tricking me into things that made my skin crawl. Once, he went through my phone and tried to use my messages against me, twisting them into leverage. That situation only stopped when I finally snapped. I stood my ground in a way I never had before, and that was the first time I realized if no one else would protect me, I'd have to protect myself. Now here's where it gets complicated. Carl is coming back next month to visit my parents with his fiance. Just hearing that news made my stomach drop. Part of me feels anxious, part of me feels furious, and another part of me just doesn't want to deal with it. When Carl walked in with his fiance, my chest nearly collapsed. I stayed quiet at first, watching him act all charming, pretending to be perfect. For a second, I thought about staying silent, swallowing it like always. But then I snapped. She deserved the truth, and I deserved to finally say it. So I told everything, every twisted thing he'd done, every way he made me feel powerless. My voice shook, but grew stronger. Carl's face went pale, then red, then pale again. He tried to laugh it off, but his fiance wasn't fooled. She looked at him with pure disgust, grabbed her bag, and whispered 6 words: "You make me feel sick." Then she left without looking back. Carl sat there, stunned, powerless for the first time. And if you've stayed till here, hit that like for the kid I once was, and drop your story in the comments. Let the world know you survived too.